This is my second take. That video was short. It was making a lot of noise, so I don't know. God, I took everything out the door. This mic is so good. It just picks up everything. Anyway, hi guys. What's going on? All right, thank you again. Thanks again. 20,000 subscribers again. As you know, YouTube has been censoring, shadow banning people, taking away their subscribers. I've gotten many notifications from people telling me that they've been unsubscribed to my channel. It's very frustrating. I said this a few months ago. I woke up one day and like 100 of my subscribers were just gone, and I know, and I didn't post a video in like a week, so I knew there wasn't anything that I offended anybody by. And usually when I do, you know, if there are people I offended, I have a greater dislike ratio, or I get people, you know, writing stuff in the comment section if they're dissatisfied with what I have to say, or they'll write me personally and curse me out, which is fine, you know, or say that they block me. So I knew that at that moment, you know, I didn't do anything in particular to piss like a bunch of people off. And then since then, you know, I'll get some subscribers, and then, you know, it just got to a point where every day I'm getting like 20 subscribers or more taken away from me, and it just kept going backwards and backwards and backwards. And I've been hovering about 2,200 since the beginning of this year, and last week it finally went under, you know, 20,000. It was like 100 or 19,000, you know, 100 less than that or something like that. So it's very frustrating, and you know, but I was just like, what can I do, right? Because one of the tactics too that they use is they want you to be frustrated that you just quit, right? So I'm not going to do that work for them. I'm going to make them work. If they want to cut me out of social media, they're going to have to, okay? They're going to have to do it themselves, and then I'll just leave. But please follow me on BitChute. We're on BitChute. We're on Steemit, Minds, Gab. We're just not active on those yet, just because right now we're on it. So if you want to join, so if the shit does hit the fan, we're like, that's where we'll be. Technically, we're on MeWe. But all of those we're not really active on, because it just takes so much work to be consistently current with all the forms of social media. Especially, you know, I have a job. My best friend who founded this channel with me, she's a mom. She has 3 kids. She's homeschooling her kids. Her middle child is severely autistic and sick, and she's dealing with trying to get him better and homeschooling. And so she's not doing videos like she used to. So those of you guys that just subscribe, this channel is actually created by 2 people, and I've just taken over. It looks like it's just me. My name is Verstein, by the way. I am not called Truth or Talk. I'm really bad. I never really say my name. But the channel is called Truth or Talk. I'm Verstein. My best friend, who's a co-founder, is named April. If you go to truthortalk.com, you will be able to see what she looks like. You can also buy some bumper stickers and some artwork there that we have. And yeah, I mean, so when I say I mean Truth or Talk. We also have a couple of admins that help out on the page. April's more active on Facebook. She does a lot of really good research and posts a lot of really good stuff. And you know, if you have any questions, especially about vaccines, because that's like our kind of our expertise at the moment, you know, you're welcome to message us there, and somebody will get back to you. We've been sending people. Some people have questions for us, and we'll get back to them, send them some info. Yeah, so, you know, there's like, so going back to the whole censorship thing, if you are not supporting or following Project Veritas, please do. They've been doing groundbreaking work on exposing the censorship inside of the tech companies, and they're deliberately going after conservatives and truthers. And I mean, technically I would consider myself a truther, just and meaning somebody, you know, that's the opposite of a liar. And that is somebody on search for the truth. And a lot of conservatives, which makes this channel special, I think, is a lot of conservatives, they only stop at politics, right? They won't talk about false flags. They won't talk about Sandy Hook. They won't talk about, you know, the dangers of vaccines. You know, they only just keep it at a political pace. They don't talk about, like, you know, the sex trafficking and Pizzagate and, you know, and all of the traffic's picking up. Can you hear it? And what was the other thing that people don't talk about? The satanic agenda. And and, you know, MK Ultra. Like, we'll go there. People that also talk about it, that also talk about politics, though, that I can name off the top of my head. Political Avenger, I love her. You should check out her channel. She's really good, really smart girl. Who else does that? I think the Truth Factory, the cat lady, the Mix a Cat, she does that really well. Sonia, the Truther Girls, really graceful. True Stream Media. They don't really get into politics though, but they talk about like truther stuff, which is more, I would really like to get into talking about that more. We used to when we had our podcast. We didn't really talk about politics as much. And you know, since this election though, it's just been a lot of madness where I had to come out and say something. I had to come out and talk about the you know, injustice that I was seeing in regards to people that voted for Trump and the discrimination and the bias and the abuse that I see. I had to be really honest about you know, what I was seeing and not really take sides. And I think it really ticks me off a lot of times with other people that try and be like, they take both sides because they want to seem fair, but sometimes you really have to, sometimes you can stand in the middle and sometimes there is something to see on both sides, but in this case there really isn't. The left, they're using, I still believe in the left-right paradigm, and how the elites use that to wield people's train of thought. But you know, and even for instance, there's some people on the conservative side that I believe that are controlled opposition, that are let in to only keep certain people at a certain status quo, right? Once they see a movement happening, they usually try and infiltrate that movement with their own people so they can still maintain control. And they'll say some truths, but they won't let other truths out. And that still keeps people from only keeps them at a certain amount of consciousness, right? They won't grow. So, but with this whole Trump thing, for me, I'm speaking out on it because I hadn't, you know, it's very different just in the fact that I've never seen any other of the elites go after him like they have and go after his supporters like they have. It used to be a day, you know, it used to be in this country, if you were of different political parties, then people would, you know, they might be a little annoyed and they just be like, well, I voted for him, or you know, blah, blah. But it's never been just this grotesque and the hysteria that has been, you know, initiated since this election has just been unfathomable and kind of ridiculous, but also very dangerous and scary. Like I've said, like I would never wear any Trump paraphernalia in Austin because I don't want to get into a fist fight, you know? I don't want to get my car keyed. I wouldn't put, you know, there are people that are afraid of speaking out because they can lose their jobs, they can lose their livelihood, they have families to support, but they can't be open about their political, you know, affiliation because they're gonna lose everything if they do. And that's when it becomes very biased, and that's when I have to be like, you know what, there is no middle ground. The left is being used to bring tyranny to this country. It's used to create hysteria and division. And, you know, there are people that, like, I've lost, and I talk about this because I know I'm not the only one. I've lost friends, I've lost family members. I still have my cousin called me up like a couple weeks ago, you know, trying to convince me that Trump's a terrible person. And she, you know, I'm just like, I'm not even worried about what she thinks, all right? But she has, I'm like, fine, if you think that, that's fine. This is what I think, but I'm not obsessed with trying to convince her about my point of view. You know, I have shit to do, you know. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind that doesn't want their mind changed. So anyway, follow us in BitChute. If you are just started a channel, you're thinking about starting a channel, start one on YouTube, start one on the main social media networks and platforms, but make sure that you also have your eggs in one basket. I mean, don't put your eggs in one basket. Have them on, like, be set up on other alternative social media platforms as well, because they want to, you know, they want you to spend time growing your channel and then just kill it because they're hoping to kill your spirit. And they, you know, don't let them do that. If you have to start over, you have to start over. God forbid, sure, you know, my channel goes down, I'll be pissed for like a day or two, but I know what's coming. I prepared myself. I'm not going to let it kill my spirit and just be like, oh, oh, I'm not gonna do anything again because that's what they want, but I also have a life outside of YouTube. They want people to put all of their energy and their meaning into social media so they can control their self-esteem and their spirit that way. So you gotta, you have channels and stuff. You have to do other things in addition to that show you your self-worth, because a lot of people also put their self-worth into their channel. So if their channel goes down, so does their self-worth, and that's not psychologically healthy. So anyway, love-hate relationship with Toll Rose, right? You go faster, but you have to pay. Sucks. Anyway, yeah, I guess that's it, y'all. Peace, true love. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Mwah.